But we are still around Ondiek Estate, Arena, Mali, somewhere there. We were just about to join that road connecting Kondele and Nairobi highway. So at that place, I don't know what happened, but what I can remember, I was pushed out of the car and they fled with the baby. Here is the mark, you see this one. So he would literally just project on the baby. So the baby would go to him and then he beats the baby or just...
It's okay.
And there was no way this was not going to work. So literally he was doing all the bad things to make this break, but I was doing all the good things to ensure that
it was working.
Yes, until now, I think by default, I also started reacting to some of these things. I don't know whether, I don't want to say that I would, obviously I could not fight with him, but when he would beat me, I would also speak back and tell him that, like, whatever I could tell him also, I would also tell him back then. So this kept on happening until one time he went missing completely. Now, 1 month, no, nothing. You call him, simu, inaingia lakini he doesn't pick. So I call one of my uncles and then I ask him that, hey uncle, this is the situation, what do I do? Then my uncle tells me that, you know what, if he's not picking up calls, then you know where he works and those people knows you very well. How about you go and maybe look for him? Because at that point, yes, the schools had been closed and I really needed to know what was happening, and also we needed some kind of support because, you know, private schools, they don't pay during holidays, so things were a little bit thick. So I heed to my uncle's advice and then I pick the baby, I go to where he works. When I go to where he works, one thing about me is that there's this confidence that I will not let you know what I'm going through unless I speak it out. So I went, spoke with I even knew his boss, the person that was in charge of his department. So when I went there, I found him and then I just explained myself and the reason why I was there. And at that point, I think I was losing it literally, like mentally, even though I kept my cool there, but deep down I was losing it because now it is happening for real. I have even been attacked. They came to throw me out. This other person, when he was asked what I have done, because I really wanted, when they sat him down at our place, when he brought now the baby, if he would say that this is what Lydia is doing that is making me to do this, now I think I would be very okay with that because I would know this is what I have done and this is the reason why this is happening. But he never mentioned that. So I was trying, why was he avoiding me? I have his child here. Where did I go wrong? So I explained to the in charge, and then the in charge calls him in a very private room. And then he comes and then he sees me, he clicks and then goes back. That was when now I felt so bad. And they now in charge told him, you know what? You are now, I'm giving you an official 2 off days. Go, sit down and sort this out. If you don't, I am going to take an action against you. He accepts. We get into the car. Aki, finally, I am going back with my parcel. With the child. One time, like for another time, I am having now a ride between Aga Khan Hospital and home. Yeah. That was so, it meant so much for me. And that was, I think that was the last ride that we had in that. When we got home, he told me, you know what? I had bought seeds, I had bought a few household items. He told me, you know what? Find a way of taking these things. This house is being locked. So pick these things, find wherever you can take them. Before that, he would tell me that, you know me, I have my own money, like enough. That which we were also farming back at home all this while. So once in a while, he didn't only have the salary that was being taken by the SACCO loan thing that was servicing the loan, but he would get money from farming, yeah. So you tell me that, you know me, I have money of my own and I can leave you here, go rent a house, furnish, and then move on with my life. So me and my 5-seater was not even important, you know. That was the only valuable thing that was there. So he tells me, pick this scotch and your things, take them to wherever you want to take them to. And then he calls a tuk-tuk. He hands over my stuff to the tuk-tuk. Like, ni mkali, yani, you cannot say anything now. And then now I think home is in Karachuonyo, which is the next place, at my grandma's place. So I moved with my things to my grandma's place. And then I stayed there. Now at that point, he stops talking completely. No contact. Ako maisha inaendelea tu vizuri. And after about a month, he reached out and told me that he wants to go and see the child. And then now at that time, we are almost heading towards January. And right now, I am now asking him if he could just help me one last time to help me secure a house that is next to the school, because from Kibos, Chiga, to where the school was, honestly, I could not afford that transport daily. And then leaving the child that far, it was just hard for me. So I go back to him, I plead with him, tell him that please, there are so many houses. I even at 3,000, just to start me up. Then I will see, I'll go back to work and then. So I talk to him, he tells me that, you know, by the way, you are making sense, do this, go look for a house. Once you get, I will support you. Aki my person. So I go do exactly that. After I get this house, now he stopped picking my calls. I called. After so many days, he picked the phone and they told me that, by the way, you have, like, haujatembea, utatembea. No one will ever accept you with that child now. And eventually, you will go back home. Like, after his first visit, he used to somehow threaten me with going back home, sending me back home, because he saw the situation. Like, I am coming from a very humble background, and during that time, the houses were still, I don't even know how to explain it, but that. And so generally, the appearance of the home wasn't very good. You could easily tell that, you know. That was what was pushing my brother to say that a house with a big window. Yeah, so he told me, he spoke arrogantly and then he went silent. The opening date came, we opened school, I could not report. At that point, I didn't even have any money saved. So it was at that point now that I would just, because one of my uncles also had a problem with me staying at my grandma's place, because he was the one who was providing. And even he wanted me to go home. So I would call people, few people that I knew. I would call, not tell them what was really happening. At some point, there's this friend of mine, Kate. She connected me to her sister, Hazel. So at some point, I went with my baby to Hazel's place. So I stayed there for some time, and this day that he called me that he wanted to see the baby, check on the baby, and maybe buy pamper, I asked my grandma, and she gave me the go-ahead. She told me that, you know what, however much you try, there's one thing that you can never change. He's the father of this child. However badly he treats you, he will forever remain the father of this child. So let him have the baby. If he wants to see the baby, let him see the baby. So I accept. He comes, he picks us up. He did not get to my grandma's place, but he reached somewhere, and then I went. And he picked us. So he said he was going to buy for us some pampers at Kibuyemat. So we went there. We picked the pamper, the small one. You see the small one. I don't know it carries how many packs, but the small, the very soft. I remember soft care, the small pack. He bought that, and then he bought for me. What else did he buy for the baby? Milk, the Tetra pack there. And then now on our way, we picked the sister. And when we picked the sister, he wanted to see the baby. Now he took the baby from me. We are sitting behind with the sister. He took the baby from me and started driving now while carrying the baby.
So where are you heading to?
We are from Kibuyemat.
Kibuye?
Yes.
Where are you going to?
We are heading to Kibos, but we are still
You're
around
going back to your
Kibuye.
grandma's
Yes,
place.
yes.
Okay.
But we are still around Ondiek Estate, Arena, Mali, somewhere there. We were just about to join that road connecting Kondele and Nairobi highway. So at that place, I don't know what happened, but what I can remember, I was pushed out of the car and they fled with the baby. Here is the mark. You see this one? Here. Yes. Yes.
That must have been...
At that point, I had gone through so much pain that even that, okay, for you who is listening to this story, it might be such a big deal for you. But at that time, the things that some I can't just say here, the kind of trauma, like the kind of physical pain that had been inflicted on me, the kind of emotional torture, ile tu yenye, yani, that just happened. Okay, it happened the way it happened, and it went with the baby, and then now it became a police case. I went reported at Kondele police station, where they insisted that if he doesn't show up with the baby, then they are going to arrest him. They called the hospital. They told him that if at all he's in that hospital, if the baby is not in the police station within some time, then they are going for him. He refused. He was so full of himself now at that point. He was like, you know what, I can always bribe my way out of something. He knew he had it all figured out. He knew a few people who knew. Yeah. So eventually he went to my cousin that stayed around Arena, dropped the baby, and told my cousin to bring the baby to the station. So the baby was brought to me. When the baby was brought to me, I went now back to my grandma's place. Now, by that time, I had left Hazel's place, and now I had gone back to... Yeah. So I went back to my grandma. When we were going to buy these pampers, I had come from my grandma. So during this time, I go back, but I tell my grandma what happened, and then she tells me that, you know what, this is how these people, this particular community behave. They have gotten to a place where they want to now get rid of you And they are going to do everything to ensure that they erase you and then remain with the child. That was my turning point. I said, now I have to flee from Kisumu. I have to now just disappear to save my life and the life of the baby. That is how I left Kisumu. One time I had a friend of mine, a fellow doctor, one time met me. I don't know. I had taken the baby for some jab or something. And then he met me. He gave me 1,500 shillings. That was the money that I, from the hospital, I crossed to United Mall and I booked Easy Coach. Where I was going to was not even a problem at that time because Mimi, the thing, I always focus on what I want to do. If that was it, everything else will come later. So I booked Easy Coach. And then I called a friend that I had hosted in my house while in Kisumu. They came to tour Kisumu. So I spoke with her if I can come to her place, stay for a little while, then I figure things out. She accepted. Hey, Mungu ambariki tu. She came through and I came to her house. 2 days in, she never mentioned that she has also been going through something. But in my presence, she was going through worse things than me because it was a case of domestic violence, the worst that has ever existed in this life. Those that leave someone wounded, bleeding, and all that, and even weapons raised, and even sometimes she had to escape, leave us here. And then I sat down and then I said, to me, I thought to myself that maybe it's me who is bringing all these because maybe the husband never approved my coming in. So what's the next thing? I have to now find my way out. Finding my way out, I don't have anyone in Nairobi. I don't know any person. The only person that I know is my brother Rocky, who is in Embu. So I call my bro and then I tell him, my bro. He tells me that, please, what you do, come to Embu. Come to Embu, and he lives in a hostel. So I go to Embu. And then he tells me that, you know what, we are just going to handle these things the way they come. The first thing first, you need a job so that you find how to stabilize. So what you do, you're going to leave this child with me here and then go back to Nairobi. Find a job by all means. And then once you settle, you come for the baby. So I was in agreement. That really made sense. And then at that time, remember, at some point before eventually fleeing to Nairobi, I had even tried now. There are things that were happening. Now my brother had a full picture of what was happening. And now I don't want to use hate because he doesn't hate me, but now the anger now multiplied. And at some point things became so thick and I said, just like I said, I'm going home, whatever is going to happen, happen. I said to myself that, you know what, I am going to my brother in Kericho. He used to stay in Kericho. Whatever happens, let it happen there. Afadhali, let that whatever is supposed to happen come from my brother. So I go there. My brother is so mad at me, so mad. He comes from work, finds me there. He never spoke to me. And he just went about his normal duty, went back to school for preps, conducted that. And then tomorrow morning, he came back at around 10. He told me that, Nyalego, I want you to go back to Vigda. Yes, you have to go back. Why? Is this not the same you that I started telling 1, 2, 3, and you said 1, 2, 3, and you kept on, yes, you have to go. You have to go back. You see this child? You got it from that place. Go back. I thought that he was
joking.
Yes, and he left for work the next day. At around midday there, he sent me a message that I hope that you heard what I told you. And at that point, you see, I had woken up, washed clothes, and you see, Kericho is very cold, and so it was raining. So when he said that, and I know maybe he used to be very strict. Right now, he's a very good person. He's a gentleman, and at least you can argue, maybe because now we are all adults or something. But back then, so I saw he was very serious. I packed the clothes, wet clothes, in a bag, and now I called a friend, and I came to her. Now the friend that was also experiencing, so that happened, and then now I left my baby. I went back to my brother in Embu. So while in Embu, he came look for a job, teaching job. That was the thing that I had in my hand back then. So I found a school in Tawala called Rofin. So Rofin, the director, I got a chance. Someone told me that if you want a job, if you are able to meet the director, or if you don't avoid so many people in between. Nairobi doesn't work like that. So Mimi, when I went, I demanded just to see the director. So, and I didn't say why I wanted to see the director. Luckily, he used to stay. He had an office within the school. So we spoke with the head teacher, and then the head teacher, I requested to meet the director. I did not lie to the director. I told the director the situation that I had at hand. And he asked me that, okay, fine, now, if we are to take you, how much would you want us to pay you? At that point, I didn't even care. I told him 17,000 will be enough.
That is what you used to get.
Yes,
that's previous job.
And then I didn't know that. I knew that it is only that school that was so good to me, because I came from a SDA school. Yes. That was, and I didn't even have experience, fresh from teaching practice. Yeah. And this head teacher absorbed me. And I thank God that in terms of delivery, I used to deliver. So when he conducted his interview, he saw that, fine. So he told me that I'm going to give you 19,000 shillings. Kumbe, that was, I think, the least that not even the cleaners were getting in that school. So they were like, what is wrong with this girl? Like, still, by that time, I had lost so much weight that Mimi, I just needed to survive. Just surviving was what was important. So he got the job. Now, it was time now to go home. The school is now closing evening. Now I don't have a place to go. I have found a job. I came from Embu very early in the morning, started working, and then I found a job now. Luckily, the same day. So I was connected, this job, I was connected by another friend who told me that they're looking for a teacher. So I just went direct. So I got a job now. But my baby is in Embu. Remember, I'm still breastfeeding. And the breasts are so full, I can't even stand straight. So I go sit at the waiting bay. Everyone is going back home, and I'm just there, seated there. And one madam, the teacher on duty, comes to me, and then she asks me, hey, how are you? Like, with story? And then I have been told that you're a new teacher here, and why we are done. See, people are going home. And then I tell her that unfortunately I came from very far, and I might not get means to go back there now. And then she comes, sits next to me, and then now we start talking. Then I request her that kindly, can you please allow me to spend at your place, just a place to sleep in, and then during the day I can take the child to daycare as I go to work. Then on Fridays I will find a place to go. So keeping in mind, I could still go back to that friend of mine that had accepted that I come, who was going through violence. So She agrees. And then now I go back to director and I tell him that, now, can you please, there's also something that I didn't tell you. I am having a very small child and I left this child in Embu with my brother. And as things stand, I can't do anything because you can literally see it was, now the milk was flowing like, now I have to explain to him, and he accepted again. So he, bless his soul, he gave me 1,000 shillings.
Wow.
I went to my brother, picked my son. Now remember, I have a job. I have now a place to lay my head. And now my brother from the other side, when I got to the job, I called him. And I don't know what he did. He got some money from a few friends. And by the time I went back, Rocky gave me about 4,000 shillings. Imagine, that was enough for me to start off. Like, I could buy a small mattress, the small size. Even the lady, okay, the house that we are talking about here, the lady didn't have a big house. She had a single room with a bed, then the other side, kitchen, the same. You know how, I don't know if you know how this happens, but the same room where you have the bed, no curtain, no anything, then you put your gas utensils there,
like
and then
a single room.
ka two-seater. So kwa hii two-seater, between the two-seater and her bed, there was some small space, a very small space that could fit, that's a small school mattress could fit in. So I went, bought a small mattress at 1,200 shillings, and then I had a shawl, my baby shawl. Now, my baby had something to cover himself with, so I was good with that. So bit by bit, I started pushing. I dropped the baby very early in the morning, and then I got to work at the daycare. In the daycare, we take the baby with the pamper, 2 pieces of pampers, and then porridge and potatoes, waru. Mashed potatoes. So I would drop him there with that. Then pick him in the evening. So after some time, I think the conditions at the daycare affected my son, and he got pneumonia. At this point, I've not even received my first salary. Now the child is unwell, and I have to take him to Kenyatta Hospital. That was the next public, like that was the hospital that I knew. No one told me. How did I know about that? There was a colleague of my person that was working in Avenue that I had known and also knew me. And so when all this happened, once in a while I would call him that, please, you just talk to my person here. And then, so I knew that he told me that, in fact, I'm not even in that place anymore. I went to Kenyatta. So I knew that the only person who would help, again now, if I have someone who is at least I know someone in Kenyatta. I didn't have money, so I went to Kenyatta. When I went to Kenyatta, by the time I was getting to Kenyatta, the baby was convulsing. I didn't even know it was convulsions, but I would explain to the doctor that nyathiriere. Yeah, so we were admitted, and immediately after that, we stayed in Kenyatta for some time, and I ended up losing that job.
Oh no.
Because now, yes, I had not even been confirmed, so that was the very first month, but they paid me. I really blessed their soul, because they paid me my 19K. So with 19K, now, at least, at this point, now my person had NHIF back then, and now when the child became so sick, I had to now let him know. Hata kama atafanya nini, I had to let him know. So we used his NHIF, so at least Bill did not take my money so much. So, and then in between my stay and everything, that colleague, he really took good care of us. So later on, the baby was discharged. I went to my friend, and I lost the job. Now I had to start looking for another job. now because we have to survive. And then I now found another job as a receptionist in some aesthetic clinic, pale Muthaiga Mini Market. The year is 2018. So I do this job. This job was paying me well. 24,000. Like you see, there is some progress. You see, according to me, it's not 17 and it's not 19. So at that point, you know, like I'm really, you know what, I am making it. I'm sincerely making it in life. So I do this job, and this job was paying me weekly, 24,000, but 6,000 every week. Every Friday, I have 6,000. That meant everything for me because now I never used to struggle anymore because every Friday I would budget, buy milk, buy food, buy Pampers, and now, even though emotionally I was so ruined, but there was some burden that was
lifted off your shoulders.
So my this lady, she used to pay me every 6 pesa taslim, like 6,000. Yes, kila Friday. So nikitoka by around 6, I pass by a supermarket, go buy groceries, I buy everything that I needed, and I still, out of this 6,000, I used at that point now I have money, you know. Now I live in a house that I pay rent 8,000. I have money now. Imagine every Friday I am going home with only 2,000, less 2,000 nani rent yangu. So I have money. So I go budget with this and keep at least every week I keep 2,000 shillings for rent. So I did this for 6 months. For this time, during this time when I was doing this, kumbe my boss was planning to go for a holiday in Italy. And that would mean the clinic would close down. So she had decided to close her clinic. And even in this clinic, there are some, I don't know what, I think the amount of damage that this whole thing had cost me, because no one prepared me that this was going to happen. So when it happened, like it took so much toll on me, and emotionally, even how I looked, I changed. If I show you my pictures, you will wonder if that was me. So you see, this lady, when she employed me, I am glad that she was so kind. But again, once in a while, when there are prominent people, that was my first time meeting Mr. Bob Kolimo. It was an aesthetic clinic where they would do Botox, Nini, you know. So whenever these people came, now she would introduce us, the team, so that the visitors can feel at home that, you know, this is not someone who is going to maybe tell people that you walked into this. So may Bob Kolimo's soul rest in peace. So whenever these people came, my boss would introduce me, because at some point I had now to, she should ask me, like, you have a child, where is the dad? Now that story just came up by itself. So, and that is how we ended up reaching to that agreement of her paying me because she couldn't wrap her head around how I was managing, so that I can also get fares and things like that. So she would introduce me, like, here is Lydia. She's a single mom of one, and apparently she's one person who has lived all her life in 25 years. That would really hit. Like, I have lived my entire life. Because of the things that I had gone through, I had lived my entire life in that time I was 25. So I had lived all my entire life in 25 years. And then some of the guests would empathize, obviously. But the way she was saying it, she was also saying it in such a way that could also degrade me so that no one could look at me like I am someone who is capable of maybe even doing anything, like, you know what I mean? So that was where she was coming. She was not introducing me because she was feeling my pain, or that was her way of doing things. So, but Mimi, the focus was, I am having the money, so I am taking care of my child. So I'm, yeah, everything just to do it, as long as it's not physical, it's not touching on my body. It is not, I am going to do everything to keep this job. I didn't know she was working on her visa and everything. She was moving for a vacation in Italy. So after 6 months, okay, this job ended abruptly. And now I now don't have a job. At this point now, I don't even know where to start because I used to stay in Gashie and I used to work in Muthaiga mini market. So I would spend some good amount to and fro. I had a house help. And so the bills were slightly more. I could not save much to save much just for the rainy days now. So when this happened, I didn't have any money. So it had just happened the way she paid me on one Friday and told me that, you know what, we are not working anymore. And I am traveling. I may take 4 to 6 months. When I come back, if I open, we may call you. So I had to go back home and now figure things out afresh. So I went home and there was part of me that was telling me that, you know, Alec, you did not try. Then you did not. Do you think you are sure like there's nothing that can be done? This marriage cannot work. Like, you did not give it all. You see, like maybe it was you who was a problem. How about you are given a second chance? I took my phone, reached my person. I begged my person and told him, I promise you, just give me another chance. Let's allow us to come and stay in your house. I will not, whatever it is I will not ask if you don't come home. I will not ask you to go to our place. I will not do anything that you don't want. But just allow me to come because the job I was doing is gone. And literally right now, it is so hard for me. My person, imagine, accepted. My person was good. He accepted. And this round, I think, during this time, he was also kind of battling something. And because of the things that he had done to me, he didn't know how to just start and tell me to. He didn't know how to have that conversation with me. So when I brought it up, he picked on it very fast. And then, in fact, he sent me fare. And he told me, in fact, when you come, I know right now you might not find any jobs around, but I'll open up a business for you. That was, if I knew that coming back would lead to the things that I went through now the second time, trying to fix this marriage, then I would not have even thought of coming back. Because that was the biggest in the list of mistakes I have made. Leaving Nairobi or going back to try to fix this marriage after all that had happened, that was a mistake of my life. I shouldn't have done that. But I told you, Mimi, I was not going to raise this child as a single mother. I was not going to be a single mother because one, single mothers, even during the time that I was living in that place, you'd pass and then you hear women talking about you like, huyu sijui anakaishi peke yake. Like, there were some names that I never, like, no. I would sit down and I say to myself, you know, I wish, can I just tell you what really happened so that you don't, as you refer to this group of people, please, just spare me. I need you to understand that I am in this situation not because I loved being here. I did literally everything to not getting to this place, but ilikataa tu. And then when he accepted, I boarded Easy Coach again that same night. And I went to Kisumu. When I went to Kisumu, he told me where I was living. He could not come and pick me, of course. I went to Tom Mboya Estate, just next to Mudas Academy. There were some flat-roofed houses, so he picked one that was behind. There's a main house, and then there are several houses. It's like a typical home setup, a Luo home setup, where we have the main house, then we have maybe a poplar behind, maybe that was used to keep the tools while building this main house. So it remained there, and being that it was in a town setup, they decided to rent it out. So I find him there. He's still working. He goes home, comes back. So we come here. That was a relief. I said, this is a second chance given to me and my child. I am going to do everything. Like the first time, I had not tried. I had not done anything. I am not going to ask this guy about anything. I am not going to raise in whatever way. I am going to stay here as if he's offering me shelter. And at least that sense of protection, yeah, mtoto. Because mtoto nae, I may say that he had a soft spot for him somehow. Once in a while, he would not treat the baby the way he used to treat me. So I come back to Tom Mboya the first month. I come back the same night, and then I find him. He's very cool. He's that guy that I have known for. And then I tell myself, Akiona, pengine, it's me who was. Yeah. So this guy is cool. I don't know what has been happening all this while. It's almost 6-8 months apart, and then he's very calm, and now we can talk a little bit. If he goes to work, he leaves us with 200 bob. That even if he wakes up even very early in the morning, before he would not even wake us up, especially if it's emergency, this emergency call. So he would take 200 shillings, put somewhere, and then go. So I lived. This was way better. Meanwhile, I was trying to apply for jobs, teaching jobs in these schools, but it was mid-year, so I could not get much. So you see, as I applied for these jobs, at least these 200 shillings, I learned how to manage with it. For the first month from my coming back to Tom Mboya from Nairobi, that first month he would leave us that 200 bob every single day. Imagine, that was good, because out of that 200, I learned to budget with it. I would go buy at least pamper moja, the leaflet of just one pamper,
like
single piece, yeah, for
30 bob.
Yes, 30 bob for to be used at night. And then I would buy the small milk. It used to be 25 shillings, I think, that time. So I buy that milk, and then I prepare tea with it. And then I buy waru kidogo pia. And then I would make sure that 100 shillings would be enough to buy for me pamper and feeders throughout the day. Yes, no, me
Just
and
the
baby at least 100 bob during the day. And then the remaining 100, I would make sure that when he comes, I go buy food, whatever food that amount would get. I would buy food so that when he comes back, he finds when I have at least something. Sweetie, my mom told me that let someone that you live with asiwahi toka kazi anakuja napata kuna chakula. So I kept that very close to my heart. I would do that every single time. And then life moved on. We moved on like that. I could not get a job still because it was mid-year. So after like a month, my person disappeared. So he would leave 200 at home. So I learned how to budget with this. So I would ensure that I use 100 shillings for me and the baby during the day, and even buy at least a pamper for the night, and then keep the other 100 bob and wait until he comes. So I buy food so that when he comes, he can find something to eat. So this happened for at least 1 month, and I think, if you ask me, I think I was okay with it, because you see, he's providing. He has not refused to provide. So I didn't have any problem with that. I think I was at peace. One, I had a shelter over my head. My baby's now growing with the dad. That was nice. So I didn't mind so much about whatever was happening. I learned to live with that. Until after around 1 month, now my person disappeared again. Now he's not coming back at home. I didn't know where he used to go to, and I would not say that at that time he had a family. The only other place that I was sure that he was going to was at the sister's place. That one I was sure, because all through the years I had never, ever even suspected him. I don't know if there was, but up to that time, I had not found him in anything that would mean that he was having an affair elsewhere. So even when he was not showing up, I still said that, he's really struggling out there. He's trying to make ends meet for us.
For you to be comfortable.
Yes, at that point, I was not going to make myself think of anything that would return me back to Nairobi or remove me from this institution that I was really fighting for. So here he goes missing, and then during that time I try reaching out. I cannot find him, and I was not going to make any mistake of looking for him at his place of work again. So what did I do? I learned to live with this. So I decided now to start doing any job that would bring food on the table. So after some time, I would leave my son at where we were living. That you see, there's this school called Mudasa Academy, Tomboya. Yes, so the place where I used to live, we shared a fence with the Mudasa Academy. So I would live in Mudasa. There used to be daycare, kindergarten, and then the primary section. So during that time, I would leave my son at the daycare, move from one place to another, just knocking the doors, just looking for any job that I would do so that I fend for myself and the baby. So during this time, there are days that I would come back home with 600 shillings after cleaning clothes for people, just any work, any job that I would find. Yeah, there are days that I would come back home without, and those days we would literally sleep hungry with my son.
And I remember you had promised your person that you were not going to ask him anything.
I was not.
Yeah.
Yes, I was not even going to keep calling again. No, me calling would mean that I would still make him not to come home. I am bothering him, and I was not going to do that, because when I was now coming back to Kisumu, I saw that whether it is pride or anything that I am going to do to make my son grow without the dad, I was not going to do anything like that. As long as he allows us in. And then now when I came back, he became this controlling person. Now, he was, but during this time, that trait came out so loudly, so I could literally tell, and even how he would speak to me, how he would treat us, how he would even treat the baby now. So it's like he was also projecting. Now, sometimes he's not able to find me in any mistake. I am not asking him. So he would literally just project on on the baby.
The baby.
So the baby would go to him and then he beats the baby, or just, you know, the baby we are talking about was below 2 years. So there are things that you can't tell the baby, or there's a way you cannot treat the baby. It clearly he was projecting. So I would go get those jobs, come back home. On good days, I would come back with around 600 or 700 shillings, depending on individuals. I did this job for a while, and one day, when I was doing this, I knocked onto a door next to the Kisumu Women Rep office. It was not even next, but it was on the other side, just somewhere around there. So I knocked and I found a house, and then I told them, remember the homes in that, these are very, the kind of houses that are in Tomboya, they are not very modern, and most of the time you'd find the gates, there are gates, yes, but you can access the place. So I would easily just knock, and then I open the small gate, and then I get in, they go there, knock. If I find someone there, well, I explain to them what I want. If I don't, I move to the next. So this day, as I was doing this, I knocked. I found a gentleman that even if you ask me today to identify this person, I cannot really tell you much about him, because you see, this was my very first interaction with him. I just knocked, and then I explained what I wanted, and then he allowed me to work. He gave me a job. He asked me if I could wash his clothes, and then I did. I didn't even take time to know so much, because you see, the relationship of Mama Fua and it is strictly
Work.
Yeah, work. So as I was cleaning the clothes, he requested me if I could clean the house, and then he would top up the money from 600 to 1,000 shillings. That was a lot for me. That would mean that, I would buy enough milk for even 2 days, 3 days, such that even if I don't find such jobs the next day, then we are sorted. So he accepted. I took this job. When I was midway, this is cleaning the clothes, he requested if I could clean the house too. And then I said, yeah, that's okay. So I accepted. I was done with cleaning the clothes. And then I moved into the house now. It was not a very big house with so many, it was 1 bedroom. And then it had a section that looked like a veranda, an enclosed veranda with some wire mesh I don't know how to explain it, but the main door, like those houses where you have the main door, and then just in front of it there's something that is veranda-like, but in that veranda there is wire mesh, and
It's
then
enclosed,
and then there are some not artificial, but there are some these plants that
it's called money plant. I
yeah,
think that's
something
the
like
most
that. Yes,
common word.
yes. So on that wire mesh now. So as I was cleaning, he was sitting there, and then I went into the room, and
It's okay. It's okay. Just take your time.
so as I was cleaning, this man followed me into the room. he hit me with something that I couldn't tell, but then I fell.
It's okay.
And then he raped me.
I'm so sorry about that. That must have been terrible for you.
Some of these things you can never say that you can heal from. So by the time I think I lost consciousness, and then I woke up very late in the evening. So luckily I had put my phone inside my bag. So while I was cleaning, he did not touch my phone or do anything. So when I woke up, I found myself, I was alone, and not in the bedroom, but now in this veranda, kind of. I was lying there. So I woke up, sat there for a while, and then now I could tell now what really happened and where I was. And then now I gained consciousness. He did not pay me my money, the money that I had worked for. So I left that place.
Was he there when you woke up?
No, I found myself, the door was locked, and I found myself in the veranda. My bag was intact where I had placed it. I had hanged it somewhere in the same veranda. So I picked my bag and walked back home. On my way home, I really thought about who I could talk to about this thing, and there was no way I was going to talk to my brother. When I was a teacher at Migos SDA, there was this parent that I used to teach her children, and somehow we had a personal relationship with her. She moved later on. She moved to the US, so we would talk once in a while. She would encourage me. She would give me tuition for the children so that I have something to eat. Yeah, so when this happened, I logged onto Facebook, and then I looked for her messenger. I texted her. I told her what happened, and then she asked me that, when did this happen? And then I told her this happened in the time span. And then he told me that, you know what, your place and Russia is not so far. Let me send you some money. Go to hospital right away. So I went to the hospital. Then from the hospital, now she asked me, now what do we do? Can you go and report? And then I told her that, yeah, I can. But now this will mean that with me reporting all this, sometimes I would be required to go to the police station, and I was not going to do anything that would make my marriage now break again. That means this person would know what happened. At this point, he was so wild yenye he would go missing, come back only to beat me and go back. Without even, at this point now, he was not even waiting to even let me have, maybe do something. He would come.
No provocation whatsoever.
Yes. The question was why I was clinging on him. So I rushed to Russia. I tell them what happened. I am put on PEP. And then now I have the drugs. I have been treated and everything is okay now. I have the drugs. Now I am supposed to go back home. Go back home with these drugs, remember he's a medic, he knows what these drugs are for. And literally at that point, this guy was going to kill me because he would not really take my story. He was going to, I was not ready to face it. So I'm here with the drugs. And then I remember the very first house where we stayed with him, the single room, our immediate neighbor who was a pharmacist, and she was working in some pharmacy in Kondele town. So I called her, I told her what happened, and she knew. She could see how this guy would behave. So I told her, and then she told me that she was called Lauren, and then she told me, bring those drugs here. So what you'll do, immediately after he goes to work, you rush, you come, take, and then you go back home.
That was amazing support from a fellow woman.
Yeah, Lorraine of Caterage, I owe her so much. So I did that until I finished the medication. I went back to the hospital. I was very okay. Everything, I didn't get any disease or anything. And I thanked God for that so much. So at this point now, we have grown so distant. He is wild. I am also battling now not only the stress I was going through, but now the trauma and everything that has come from that experience. And at this time, this thing is weighing me down. I am even traumatized to even go out there and try looking for a job now, or even anything that would put food on the table. So that means I fully depended on Zena. So Zena would send me money to buy food, buy pamper. And literally during that season, she really held my hand throughout. So during that time, out of the money, I was also not so comfortable receiving this money like all the time. Remember, this is not my friend. She's that parent that knew me. I was
When
just
you were a teacher.
So reducing myself to your level, like all that I had told her, I could not. There's a level that you cannot get to explaining to someone like we were all the time. So one time I took the money. She used to send me about 10,000 shillings after kama 2 weeks. So I took this money and I went to Kibuye and looked for, I picked dresses, these camera dresses now. So I came back with these dresses, came back home, washed them, and then I iron, and then I post now on Facebook. Now I decided to now create a page on Facebook that was called Nyaraluso Mtumba Collection. I have an eye for dresses and that, so it was very easy for me. So I would go pick on first camera, come iron properly, post there. I could sell very, very well. So one time he came back home and then he found me doing my things. He did not interfere. But then there are things that, remember when I was in Nairobi, I had settled and I love music a lot. So in the list of things that I would buy first before even buying a bed, then I would have to buy a music system and then the baby a television. So he picked, when I came back with these things and he told me that, I think it's good, let me take these things home and then we just start from scratch afresh too. Yeah, that made sense because remember, I was not going to oppose my person, never. So I accepted. So when he said he was taking these things home, I agreed. But I was under very strict instructions that one, I should not at any point communicate with the sisters to let them know that I came back. 2, I was not supposed to appear anywhere in the functions, family functions. Yes, which I was okay with. I was living in Kisumu and all that was taking place outside Kisumu now. So I was okay with that. So I stayed for so long without going home. I think about 9 months until now I volunteered. It was now harvesting season. I volunteered. I told him that now that wewe umeshikana job, why don't you allow me to go home and help with harvesting of maize? So I can supervise, I can coordinate 1, 2, 3, and then you can come on the final day when we are now packing the sacks into the maize into the sacks so we keep them in the store. So he saw some sense in that, and in as much as I was not supposed to, the family was not supposed to know that I was around, he accepted. I traveled home with the child, with my son. So I went home, did this job. But then I was curious. You know, he told me that he had taken these things home. And back at home, we had these shamba boys who used to man the home while we are away. So I asked one of them, and I asked him that, hey, kuna zile vitu baba Aren alisema ameleta huko, I can't see them. Where did he put them? And then this guy looks at me and then he was like, oh, ile TV na ile. And then I'm like, yeah. And then he tells me, hizo zilipeanwa kwa mama. And then I'm like, who is that? And then this guy looks at me like, you don't know her? Okay, then ni sawa tu, maybe atakuelezea. We stopped that conversation like that. And then now you see, I have not been answered on where the things are, and I have been told that they were taken to someone that I didn't know existed. So on the day that my person came, after doing everything, I decided to ask him about those things. The kind of beating that I got in that place, it's one that I will never forget. It left me bleeding from, I had blood coming out from my mouth, my ears, my nose, and it was terrible.
Can you imagine how that made you feel?
So I took my phone, I took a picture. There I have all these things I'm saying, I have them recorded and I have them in video, either video or picture form. So I sent this picture to my brother without any caption. I just send him that picture and I keep quiet. When he saw this picture, my brother boiled. Like, he asked me just 2 things. Where are you? I will assess the situation. Do you think that up to where, right now as we speak, you are safe? And then I told him, yes, I am leaving for Kisumu. Imagine I have been beaten to that extent. I'm leaving to Kisumu, to his house, our house in Kisumu, because there's no way I'm going to go home. I am not going to let my son grow without a father. So I decide to go back to our home, and I leave him this side.
In Shags.
Yeah. Later on that evening he came, and when he came, he also fought me. He also beat me up until the landlady now told me the next day that she's tired of the fracas that keep coming from our house, and she wants me out of her compound the next day. I couldn't go because I didn't have any money, so I just stayed around. And then after that he left. So when he left, he took so long without coming until I had not paid rent and I had stayed on deposit. So this landlady was furious. One time she came with people and removed everything in the house, placed them outside the house and locked the door. At this point, there's nothing I could do. We are not in talking terms.
You don't have a source of income.
Yes. And when I told my brother that I went to Kisumu, he was also mad. But that day, he came the next day in the morning. And guess what? He told me that now this is it. He came with policemen. I don't know from where. A Land Cruiser. When he told me that he's coming, I tipped my person. I told him that, you know what? If you are at work, please just find a place. Go away. There's no way my son was going to grow without the father. By all means.
And these people are coming for
yes,
you. Please
yes,
run.
Yes. I told him that. He did his thing, and my brother came. He didn't find him. He asked me to go home. I did not go home. I told him that, you see, I'm now all right and things will be okay. So after that, that is when now the landlady came and removed my stuff from. After that, I went and I withdrew the complaint because my person, it was just the work of the devil, you know. Yeah. So I, fast forward, my things have been removed from the house and the house is locked. He had left, and the only thing that I had remained with was his name tag. So during the time my things were being removed from this house, I had they came. It was a little fracas, like kind of. It was not peaceful, and then it was raining. So the house that I lived in was just next to the gate, and outside. Now this is Migosi. Outside were some stalls where I used to buy vegetables, whatnot. And then, so this lady, she saw what happened. And then she tells me that there's a vacant house where I live. And the owner of the house works with your person. So maybe you can go talk to him and maybe they will find a way, because I never told her also what I was going through. So I just told him that my person left and we traveled. So I have the name tag. So I went. So this lady took me to the person, to the now her landlord, who was working, who was my person's colleague. Yes, with the name tag. I told him that, Mimi, I am so and so. I have come here. I have a little emergency. I've been having 1, 2, 3, and my things are outside as we speak. But my person works in the same hospital. And then he asked me, who is the person? And then I showed him. And then I don't know how that even happened. I still look back and I just say, maybe my path is just guided. So he accepted. I told him that truly he will pay in the evening when he comes, because remember, this is someone with, like, he treats his colleagues. He is known. He's a good person. He's known. There's no way that this person would even doubt, because clearly the name tag reads so and so, and it has the hospital logo and even the department. He even had his number. So he calls him, and then out of ile, do we call it aibu? Akambia, sure, let them in. I will pass by in the evening and pay. So this guy gives me a go ahead, and it was not so far from where I lived, like about 300 meters. So hapo, these same people, there was some welding, there was some guy who was doing welding, and then some picky guys. And then my staff were not so many. It was just the 5-seater, and then the small cylinder gas, some plates, and some clothes. So they helped me carry these things and took to that house without even paying the deposit, with the hope that he would
pay.
Yeah. So later on, I think out of your aibu, he went, settled the rent, deposit and rent. And from there now, this is his colleague. There's nothing he could do. He could not allow himself to be disgraced the other side. So hapo rent ilikuwa sorted. I'm still continuing with my mtumba business. And so even in his absence, I am able to take care of myself and the baby. So one time, now after I had gone home, now the family knows that I am back. And now there's nothing that they can do about it. So they advise him again. Take this lady to a house where even if you pay, he narrates to them whatever had happened. And then they advise him that, why don't you take her to a place where even if you're paying rent, then you won't feel the pinch. So he decides to take us to Chiga, Kano, Kisumu County.
Kano, as in Kano Plains.
Chiga, yes.
Where
Those
they plant rice.
Yes, yes. Not plant rice per se, but it has this history of flooding. The I don't know, the land itself, I don't know what about. So we go to a place where these muddy houses were. So Mimi, I didn't care, didn't mind. He told me that, you're going to stay here. I am going to buy a piece of land. And after some time, I will come. I will build something on that land, and then I move you from here to. That was okay, because at the end of the day, imagine this person. My person was now removing me, like, from the struggle that I had to go through. I had even the fights I had to go through back at home, uko kwao, and now he's bringing me back to Lowland, and he's building me a house. Whatever.
You've arrived.
Yes. Again, I arrived very much. So I accept, and then we go there. But now you see, here, I had a client base. I moved to an extent where I could now open bills, and I would post that I'm opening bills, and people would just come in. People would just come in. So I didn't have to really struggle so much. And then the rest of the clothes I would take to open hair market, where you sell them for 100 shillings. You know the setup where you say so. Yeah, that. I did that several.
Fagia or chafua?
Whatever, yeah, that.
Yeah.
So I would take these clothes, go there, and I could really make some money out of it. But then you see, now I've been moved from where I had a client base. I was taken to a place so far from town, such that for me to access town, I'd have from where the house was to Kibos Center, I had to pay at least 70 to 80 shillings motorbike. And then from Kibos to town, about 50 to 70 shillings. So no client would accept to come for the clothes. So eventually my business, I think, died somehow. I would still post and deliver online, but wale wenye walikuwa nakuja kwa nyumba, hiyo iliisha. Yeah, I lost them completely. So in the process now, I am not making much. I am in a new place. I don't have a place to now leave my child, and I cannot employ a maid. I also don't trust the people, the neighbors so much. And now you see the money that I had, the capital, the money that I was using to run this mtumba business, I have now to eat, like feed from it and sort myself out of it. He's still not around. So once in a while, after some time, he came and told me, I have bought that land that I was not told when he was buying it, but he came. He at least informed me that he had bought that land not so far from where we were living. And he told me that I found a piece of land the other side. So with time, I'm looking for money. I will go put a structure there, and then I can transfer you now from this place to now that place. I was okay with it. So I continued, and then he left. So remember this house, I have a baby here, but it was this house that anytime it rains, the water would flood in the toilet and move all the contents of the toilet into the house. And I have a small child, and then, okay, I didn't have much problem with it. So once in a while he would come, we go to that land that he had bought, and we would try to develop it, plant trees. You have no idea how happy I was. We would plant trees. Then we would, I suggested that how about we now plant skuma wiki so that I don't have to go all the way to Kibos to go buy mboga. So he accepted. I went, bought skuma wiki, came, planted, and it started doing very well. So during this time now, violence continued so much that I didn't know what to do, because you see all the efforts to help me have proved to be futile. I can't go back to Felix and tell him, my brother, and tell him that, now this is what is happening. So it was me and me to brave everything until I find a solution for myself. Still, me, I was keeping my marriage by all means. And one time when we were working in this, you see, a piece of land, there's a way that they chimba kisima this other side, the far end, and then the toilets the other end.
Yeah.
So it was in the evening when I was drawing water. So he called me, like, ile ya yenye mtu anataka kukutuma ama kukuuliza kitu very important. So he called me and told me that, please come. And then I went, and then he looked at me, and then he told me that, Lydia, when you came to Kisumu, I didn't know that you'd stay for this long. This long? How long? Remember, we are talking about 6 years. This guy, he has kept quiet all this while, like an anitesa too, but he's not telling me this. So right now, I have a child here, and years have passed.
It's
I have
6
gone
years.
through. Yes, he's telling me that he didn't know that I would stay for that long. And he meant his word. Akaniambia, mimi hata I never came for you at your place. Sikukuja kukuchukua kutoka kwenyu. You just brought yourself. And even when you came from Nairobi, you still just came back by yourself. And I have never even made any effort. So it was at that point that I saw. Remember, before that, still immediately after telling me that, I still went on my knees, like literally on my knees. I told him, Baba, please, nakuomba tu. What is it that I am doing that you don't like, so that I can change? Can we just work on this so that it can work out? I begged him so much. He left me in the shamba, got into his car, and
left.
Yes.
But allow me to take you back. In the moment when he's telling you that the first time you came to Kisumu, he didn't know that you'd stay. And then even when you went to Nairobi and came back to the house, he didn't know that you'd stay. How are these words making you feel? Or what's going on in your mind?
It made me feel, I think it was that time when I literally just broke down. Yani, I have been braving all this, but when you see the seriousness in his face, and then the Lulu in me that kept on pushing me that, imagine this is going to work out. I saw it like real from the things that he used to do to me. I saw it in his eyes. Like it was at that point that I realized that, this is done.
It hit you.
Yes. It was at that time that after that, when I went on my knees and, his words hit me so much, and I went on my knees and I held his legs, and then he pulled his leg. You see the way someone can move, you are holding the legs and then they move. Yes, they moved like that until now I could not hold them. And then he went, got into the car and left. I sat there. I cried a good one. But still, There was no way I was going to move. But mentally, I saw it like, now this is it. From that place, I now started now thinking of, now what do I do? What is my next step now? It is clear this is not going to work. So how am I moving forward? I could not do that by that time. So I started calling for at least a few friends. I'm looking for a job, any job that I'm looking for, any job. At this time, remember, I'm still bearing the burden of embarrassment and shame. I am not going to let anyone know that my marriage is not working. So I decide to just tell them that I am really, really looking for a job. So, and still I used to apply. I apply. On the day that maybe I apply for a job and then I am called for interviews, I request him to stay back with the child. Or maybe when he's off, he would not even accept that. He would accept. And then I give him the details of the place. 30 minutes in, he would bring the child. Before
you even get anything done.
Yeah. So that is what made me to stay for so long without a job, basically, that time. Then now I started thinking of, now, which is the best route? One day, a friend of mine got me a job. And then he asked me that, can you do this and this? And then I was like, yes. And this job was in Vihiga. So from Vihiga to Kisumu, Kondele is 100 shillings. So that was manageable. Now I asked for a few, some money from a few friends, and then now to start me up. So when I told him that I have found a job, imagine he didn't bother me. He was not against it. He really accepted. And imagine, I think he saw it like, now this is it. Now with this job, she's now going to leave me alone. So I still suggested to him that, Kondele and Vega is not far. I can commute every day from Kibos to Kondele, then to Vega. Because there was no way I was going to leave this house, by the way. So I knew that I was supposed to leave because of his reaction, the previous encounter then. But then now I have a job. See, it was maybe I was not helping the family. Now I have a job. So how about we now sit again and try if now he can listen to me now that I have a job. So I do that. Nothing changed. I would come back from Vihiga. I got someone to take care of the baby now. And I would come back from Vihiga. He's gone. Nowhere to be seen completely. So from there, I come. Sometimes I don't have money for transport or even an extra money. Sometimes I only have just the transport to take me to Vihiga and bring me back. So I would come in the evening. I would leave Vihiga, Mbale, at around 6. Sometimes you get stuck in the traffic. Kidogo between Kondele and Kibos. By the time I'm getting home, it's around 7, and we don't have food. I have a child. So what would I do? I would go into the shamba, get some vegetables. I did that until now. I could not get any more vegetables from the farm.
Yeah.
And I would now go to other people's. You see, it's a village setup, so they are not so keen on people. If you just go into their shamba to pick mboga, they will not bother.
People don't mind.
Yeah, at all. So I would do that, and then I come, prepare, and then I cook. We eat, and then I rest. Tomorrow, the next day, very early, I had a day scholar, a day bag. So just some mama should come, take care of the baby, and then when I would pay her by end month. So I did this for about a month until one day I came and I found him home. And then as usual, I prepared my mboga. But now, I think my baby could not eat this mboga properly. Mimi, I knew. So by the way, I kept him. He really breastfed for so long because now, most of the time, that was the only food that was available.
Yeah.
So he breastfed for so long, like for quite so long, not the normal 2 years. Yeah. So Mimi, I knew that sometimes if he doesn't eat that, then I would still breastfeed him. Yeah. So, but this day he came, and the baby could not eat this mboga. He beat this child properly.
No way.
I swear.
How did that make you feel as a mother?
Remember the child we are talking about? You know that you understand the process, what it took me to get this child.
Yeah.
And what he did, how I lost my first child. Now he was not able to do away with him back then, and he's now doing it now physically. A small child ilikuwa ni care to ama slippers, I don't know, something like that. He beat this child down up, and when I saw this, I went, picked my child. We were beaten properly. The next day I could not go back to work. And I just called and told them that I got a small accident and I cannot come in. So, because remember, this job that I got, it was about child protection. I was a child protection officer, and basically we were dealing with protecting children and women against such kind of things. So how was I going to tell these people that, you know what, me here, yours truly is going through that? I was not going to do that, because they would really, during that time, I got a chance to really interact with so many people who are in the law system, the kind of systems that really, the law advocates, Nini. I really got, because they're the victims, not the victims, but the perpetrators. I used to ensure that these perpetrators are taken to court and they have a full court proceeding and all that. So I had access to so many people who I knew very well that just by mentioning of this, then they would act. Yeah. But you see, them acting was going to take away
your little family.
Yes. So I said no. But then that day, that same night, the next day, I did not go to work. But when I went now, I now asked for a friend of mine, the one who connected me with this job. I told him that it has been very hard for me to commute from home, from Kondele to this place. So I was requesting if he could give me a startup, a soft loan, so that I can get a small house around that place. So in my mind, I have made up my mind. I am now not taking it. I am leaving.
You're leaving.
So that
allow me to interrupt you.
Yeah.
There's a point where you mentioned that you have video and picture evidence
Yes.
of when these things were happening. Mm-hmm. So were you able, is it something that, were there days that you were anticipating that leo nayo nitapigwa?
Like that was the norm. I would even, like you see now, he had a car. So when he was coming, I would literally hear him come with the car back, and then I would set the camera, knowing very well that this guy is going to, let me just try. I don't even know. Okay, during that time, I don't know why. I think I was so much into the work that I was doing. I had been, like, I was so big on evidence because of the nature of the work that I was doing. So I could easily just do that. So I would just pick the camera, my phone camera, put it in video, and then I just sit. Then he walks in, sits down, finds just something, and then walks. It would not even take even 5 minutes or 10. before he starts this. So that was his, like literally I would say that he would just come to beat me and go back. Like beat me ile, like what are you still doing here? Like all that I have done to you, why are you still sticking around? Like why? Like what is wrong with you? So I would do that. Whenever there are days that he would come and not beat me, yes. But there are days that it was so, I knew, like I would set the camera and he would come, beat me up and then goes back. So
you finally get to the point where now you decide
yes,
that you can't take this anymore.
Yes. Remember, from whatever he told me the other time, and then now how he's acting, now it was now about the baby. I saw like I was going to lose my child again. And I was not ready to now go back to that same process that I went through trying to get a child. Yeah. So at that point, now it was now not even about me. The child that I never wanted to live without, to grow without the father, all went into take my child and protect. So I went, talked to my friend. He gave me a loan of 11,000 shillings. And then I went, got a house around Mbale town. And then now I came, I didn't have much. I just picked remember when I came from Nairobi, he had given me my 5-seat. I had taken it to my grandma. So in the process, in my stay, I had taken back the seat from my grandma back to our house now. So it was there. So when I was now leaving for Mbale, I didn't pick it again. I just left them there. I just picked my certificates, my clothes, and the baby's clothes. All these were fitting in a small bag. I have the video. But you have no idea how happy and peaceful I was. Finally, like evening would reach and there is no thought of someone coming to beat me up or even with the child. That was everything for me. Now I started.
The anxiety was gone.
Now I was dealing with real life. Like now, okay, fine. Everything has fell apart and now this is it. But I was so determined to make it, and that was nothing. So what I did, any money that I get, I buy something. So I went and bought a fluffy carpet so that we can sleep on it. And then after that, I pushed until I got my first salary. It was a good job. This job was paying me 115,000 shillings. So after that is before tax. Then when it's taxed, I would get at least 90 or that was now see, you see, I have now made it fully. Now I have reached.
Now the economy is doing wonderfully.
I'm telling you, at that time, I even now speak English of the nose. Now you see, because now I walk on the ground as the Nyaralego that I am.
You're confident.
Yes. And then now these small things like bills, nini. I'm living in a house, I'm paying 4,000 rent. But still, you remember all this while, my brother Willis is in high school. He comes back when he got a scholarship. Both my brothers, both Rocky and Willis got scholarships. And they really passed, they did so well. And Willis got a scholarship to go and study at St. Mary's Nyeri. So he was not at home. He would go, come back to me, until he did his Form 4. Same to Rocky. Rocky went to Koworo Secondary School, but his fee was paid by this organization called Child Fund. The entire, see how God works. So you see, even somehow their fees and everything was now not part of my problem.
Your problems,
yes, but I still kept my promise of I will do everything. So you see, when he's going, I do this shopping. So this time, I am now getting enough money. Now my brother comes and I have a house. I had now started furnishing my house. I bought now seats. I have bought a bed. And where we were living, there were 2 bedrooms. I have now moved to a 2-bedroom house to accommodate my brothers. So, yeah, so life is good. Finally, when I had left this person, he did not even try to find us at all, at all. And that was okay. That is how I left his place. And that is how I started my journey as a single mom to date. That is now 2021. So 2021, how I left his house, he did not bother to look for me or even the child or even anything. And then now I have money. This job lasted only for 6 months. I got the organization, it was midway, so I only worked for 6 months and then the contract ended. But I had settled very well, and I had done by the time it was, because I was now told that the contract is supposed to end in 6 months. And then lucky enough, I don't know what happened, and we were added another 2 months. Now the 2 months, the salary for 2 months, I had paid rent up front. I had even, by that time now my son was now of age and he was now supposed to join nursery. I had kept some money to take him to school, and I did that. So even the job ending at that time, it was not such a very, like, it did not leave me in
the desert.
Yes. So I settled. After that, I now started, there's, one good thing with NGOs, once you work in those organizations, then you get to meet people who knows people. So
networking
easily.
is easy.
Yes. Okay, there are some very good friends. There are some good people. The same person who connected me to this job was so well connected in the NGO world, and he connected me to another job in Kisumu.
Wow.
So remember, Kisumu is a city that, I would say that it's a city that really crushed me. Like, even today, but I think right now, I think mentally I'm very stable and I think I can just go comfortably. But though I have very bad memories of Kisumu, so life is now taking me back to Kisumu. I have found a job after, like, this other one ended in April, and then in July, I got another job.
Wow. That was like a difference of 3 months.
Yes. I got another job, but it was not even half the salary that I was getting in this other one. But I was all in, because do I have another option? No. Now I had paid rent up front. There's no way I'm going to ask for my rent back. So I am commuting again from Mbale to Kisumu, then to Mbale. And I did that for some time until I could now not do it. I had, the number of months that I had paid for expired, and then now I could now move. Now I organized and moved my things to Kisumu, and I settled in Kisumu again. My person, during this time, now I say I have money. So my person, once in a while, he tells me that, I send him the contract, because at least there's that part of me that still wants to
give things another chance.
Yes, like, maybe if I show him this, then he would at least see something good in me. Yes, more. Yes. Now I have money. There's something I'm bringing on the table. I send him that. He gets to know what I'm earning, and then now at that point, we now agree. Now I still stay in Mbale. We doesn't meet, but once in a while we talk, and then we make even plans. He tells me that then what I think, that land that I bought, we can set up foundation, and then we can put something on it, and then now that the new job is in Kisumu, you can come back. Mimi nae ni nani? I accepted. Now I get this job. This is my salary. Ninaga. I send him. We set up foundation, and we built this house. up to Linton. And then now from Linton now, he went silent. He now, I don't know what happened along the way. So he cut off communication completely. I could not reach him. And now I also said that, you know what, that's okay, because I had tried enough number of times. So I tried, but now when I realized that he was not for it, and then I also just kept quiet. So this is now 2022. I'm still working in Kisumu. He's living his life. I had left that place now in October 2020. Now you see I've stayed out for some time, and I don't know much that is happening around his life, and yeah. So, but the foundation and building of this house, I would still send, because now he would, once in a while he would send me the photos of where we have reached. Little did I know that I was only doing this, I was supporting something that was not even going to be, I was not going to be part of. But I couldn't tell, I don't know what was wrong with me. But so 2022 June, Aaron becomes sick, and he had tonsils and adenoids. So the tonsils easily burst. So he's rushed to the same hospital where I was born, and is rushed for an emergency surgery. So I'm the only parent available. I tried reaching out. By that time now, you see, now I have hung around people who have money, and I know that one, insurance is very important. Now you see now why I'm telling you that I have reached. Imagine me, who at some point valued just the fact that I could be treated as how do I put it? As a somebody, as a staff person. No. Now I have my own insurance. Imagine I had Jubilee, it'll expire, and then now I had APA. Now my son has been taken to surgery, and at this point now I'm like, Akecha, I'm so proud of you. Now you see, and now I am able to sort the hospital bill. And this time I had also saved something small. But then the hospital bill comes, and then it overlaps, like it supersedes. You see, when this child had tonsils, every time constant fever, I'm in the hospital. So I had used this cover also, but I had remained. I think I had remained with something like 150,000. So when the bill came, the card only covered just a bit of and then now NHIF, I was also paying NHIF, which covered for only the bed. So I had to now settle the remaining amount. I reached out to my person. My person went, shoop, no anything. He did not say anything, did not get back. And now I had to pull the little savings that I had, settle this, and I was discharged on 30th of June. On 1st was a holiday, Madaraka Day. I received a letter, an email. I have been sent home on a compulsory leave. Kisana maana, being absent from work. Remember, this child got sick while in school. I was at work. But I had known, so I would pack his card in the bag, and I told the teacher, remember he was going to now, we have come from Mbale, and this is school that Migos CSDA, I took him to Migos CSDA because I felt home. So I would pack the card. This tonsils issue became so frequent that I did not know what would happen in my absence, because I would work as far as Miwani. You know, the distance between Miwani and Kisumu is quite Yeah. So sometimes I would be in Nyalunya. So I would be in different locations at different times. So I told the teacher that here is his card. Should anything happen in my absence, please take him to the hospital. First of all, take him to the hospital, and then now you can let me know. So all this happened while I was at work. So when I came, I received that letter, and it was 30 days leave, compulsory leave. And then I was so bitter because these people, they even came and saw my child. Yeah, they visited the baby in the hospital. They know a bit of my story. I could not just understand. Like, I was like, why are people like this? Like, literally, like, no one even understands. Like, this guy has done 1, 2, 3, and even these people, like, no one even understands. So at that point, I was so mad at myself, and I was also tired of the constant frustrations that I was getting from the people who are my immediate bosses. Yeah, I don't want to really talk much about that because we are dealing with a different thing. So these transfers, I would be transferred via text message that you wake up, you know you are going to your workstation, and then you find a message that today you've been transferred to Miwani, just like that. So this happened. I would go there, stay for 1 month, I get transferred to a different place. Yeah, so that happened for some time. Now, when I lost this job, I was so bitter and was so mad about everything. And what did I do? I decided to now officially. See, I was given 30 days leave. I resigned now officially. And I told them that, you know what, it's okay. Let me just leave. And my son is still, you see, immediately after that surgery, I had also to nurse my son. Though it was during that time, but now going back there was another nightmare. So it was during that time also, my best friend lost her child, and Ceci, she used to be called Ceci Gaither. So she lost her son to an accident, and then now this was my, every time, this was my to go-to person now. So we were so close. When she lost the child, I now resigned, and then I decided to move to Nairobi so that I can come and be with her, comfort her. Unfortunately, 40 days in, my friend committed suicide. She could not take grief and the loss. She could not just come to terms with it, and she went. So that is how I landed in Nairobi. Now I settled. Still went out there because I had to put food on the table. I landed into a sales job. And I did that with the whole of my heart. One day I went to industrial area, found a place, and yeah, we agreed on commission. I would push these sales like
Lydia,
my life.
you're so resilient.
Yani,
this happens and you've picked up the next. This
something-
happens, you're so resilient.
You see, there's something that doesn't change. The fact that I have all this has happened, I have to put food on the table for the child, and there's no excuse about that. Again, I'm going home. Home where? So I am not going home. So that is what kept on pushing me. So I go there, find this sales job on commission. I pushed this sales like my life depended on it. That was the time that I also realized that I am so good in sales, more than even, then if not nursing, then I would have pursued sales. Yes, and marketing. I did that job so well. Can you imagine, in just a single day, I would sell up to 400,000. Yes, here in Nairobi. This is a job that I had never done. And ask me what we were selling. Manhole covers. Manhole covers are these, how you see the this drainage wherever. So whatever they use to cover the drainage system, that meaning it's not something that you can sell to a particular hardware today and then come tomorrow and sell again. But let me tell you, even today, you walk into, maybe you go to Katani, or you go to Rongai, you go to Mala, or you go to anywhere, any hardware, just ask them, nisaidie namba ya Lydia, the manhole cover supplier. I did that. They do. I did that for a very long time until now, 2023. Now, in 2023, now I really wanted, okay, for me, I did that job in order to get skills to maybe see if I can get into a different sector or whatever. I really wanted to do something with my life, away from office work, away from employment. Yes, and then this market, sales and marketing opened up my mind so much that I saw very many possibilities. So I did it, and then at some point I left that company honorably. I still talk with my bosses. They support me wherever I am and everything that I do. Until, remember, during this time, we have lost communication, touch completely with my person, completely. And then in 2024, I received a call from him. Remember, back in, immediately the child was born, he had started the process of going to the US through some agency that was employing nurses the other side. So he had taken my passport, my IDs and other documents, and those of the child to US embassy. So with all this happening, he did not go back there to correct or to say that, things fell apart. And on 4th of December, that he packed my things, the day that we officially separated was the day that we were supposed to go to the AG's office and sign official marriage certificate that would be used. We had even bought outfits. Yeah. So it was that day that we were supposed to go sign yes. So when things went south, we did not sign that. So that means whatever we were having was just a come, we stay kind of thing. So I received a call from the embassy. The person on the other line, and introduces himself, and then he tells me that, are you so and so? And then I tell them yes. Yeah, I thought maybe a client, or because my number was everywhere. So he introduces himself, and then he asks me a few questions. Then he tells me that, yes, this call, I may be forced to record this call because we may use it somewhere else. And then he asked me that, do you know so and so? And then I tell them, yes, I do. Who is he to you? And then I explain. I tell them that, sorry
about that.
So I tell them that this used to be my person, but we separated, and right now we live separately. I even mentioned that he has a family, and now we are not together. And then he asks me that, how about the child? What's your stand on him having the child, or even having the child in his documents and stuff? And then I was like, no, I have no problem with that. He's the father. If he wants to have the child, by that time he was now looking for visa to relocate to the other side. So when he went for the interviews, he had taken fresh documents for another lady. Now that is now when they started now doing a background check, because when he was asked what happened, he could not give the marriage certificate. 2, we didn't have any divorce. He said that we separated. Then after that, I passed on. Yes.
So that you passed on.
Yes. So this the embassy was doing their background check and researched on their own, and then they found my number because it was in the initial documents that were taken the other time. So they reach out and They reach out and I innocently, I didn't know whatever he said. They didn't tell me that he had said that. And then they request me if I can avail myself. And then I agree to it, and then I go with the child, and then they justify that indeed Lydia is alive and Lydia. So they tell him to present original death certificate and our divorce papers. So that is 2024 now, June. So my person, I think with the few people around him, advised him that, during this time, he really tried reaching out. But then I had said that, you know what, I am not going to be part of this. This person now has a family, and there's no way I am going to be involved in this. I may try to innocently be involved because he's the father of my child, but then they might translate it in a different way. So I said, I am not going to respond to all this. So he started begging me, telling me that I accompany him to a lawyer so that we can sign an affidavit. And then I told him, I am sorry. I have not known the reason why he's begging me to help him do this. But I have been called to the embassy, and so I take my stand and I tell him I am not involving myself with you, but I gave the embassy a green light that if at all he wants to move, I have no problem with him moving with his family. I have no problem holding my son from, preventing my son from being accessed to, like he has full access. If he wants, he can always have the son, visit him, and then he comes back. I have no problem with that. So someone after he has tried reaching out, and I have refused to be part of that. I think someone advised him to sue me, to file for a divorce. Remember, he's filing for a divorce. We don't have a marriage certificate. I don't know if he had made one or he had. I don't know. I don't know, because this is a person he's educated. He knows. Like, for you to start to file for a divorce, then that means you must have official marriage certificate, and also you have fulfilled the cultural customary rights and stuff. He had not done any of those. But then I think the person who advised him told him that, Lydia is not going to respond, and this divorce case is going to just be, you are going to be given, I don't know, there's a way, if you don't respond to these cases, then you are given, like, you win by default. So they were very sure that I was not going to respond, because where was I going to even get money to pay for lawyer or stuff? At this point, God connected me to a friend, Fanny. That lady came through for me, like, you see, like, she paid for me a lawyer, and then we said that, you know what, this is the truth. This is what's happening. We are getting a lawyer. She got me a lawyer, and then we started now the process, the court battles. So you see, he had said that I had died. So this guy literally started now looking for me, and now I had to move from where I used to stay, because I don't know how he did it, but eventually he found out. The sales job, I used to post so much on social media where I used to work, and so I think he was able to, when I was going to do deliveries around one place, then he would easily know how to find me. So I did that, and then he followed me, and he got to know where I was living. This guy, he really did so much to me, until my friend now decided to take me out of that place, and now took me to the leafy suburbs, Yes, where a very safe space, where if anyone has to come from that side, then you have to leave your ID, You have to say the house number. The person who is inside that house has to give consent. That saved me. That saved me. So she did that, and then in the process, we were still going on with the court case. Now we are at a point where now my brother, Willis, now we are here. He's in the university. He has joined the university. We have come a long way. It was just last year now. So when all this was happening, my brother was with me like this, like, now let's do this. Now, this is the response that we're going to write. We write, and then we talk with the lawyer. We tell him whatever we want. Willis stood with me. Even the days that I had to go to the court, those days that we had online sessions, he would not go attend his classes or even go for hospital. Imagine, he would be there. Like at that point when now he started this divorce thing, I also shared it with my family. But then somehow they were like, you see, this person wasted your time. Accept. Go for this divorce so that you can also be compensated out of this. And then I told them, no, there is no way I am going to be divorced. I am not going to be divorced before even getting married. This guy, he has never married me. We don't have, my name is going to stick in the list of divorcees, yet I have never been married. So I took a different direction, and that didn't settle so well with my brother and even my family. So I had Willis full board every time. Today it's like this, that Willis would console me. There are days that, imagine now having to tag along your child, going to court, and then he gets to see all these. Sometimes it was very heavy on me. And that court process, it really took a toll on me again. And
I can imagine.
yes. So we battled until the end. The judgment was in my favor, and everything was nullified. The case was thrown out of court, and just like that. That was the last time I heard about him. I don't know what happened, what transpired. I don't know whether he's alive, he's around. He finally cleared his name with the embassy. But I have never tried to even confer. I even changed my number, and so I just stopped. I did not look for this person or even ask about what happened to him or what. But I chose my child, and I said, I have battled so much. A lot has happened. I think the least I can do right now is to focus on me and my child, because the more this person was coming into my life, by default, I would somehow unknowingly project this on my child. Unknowingly, because one, apparently my child looks exactly like my person. Exactly, even walking style, even the fingers.
Photocopy.
Everything. So this was a constant reminder for me that, you know what, you are not talking to me, but I'm living with you in your house.
Yeah.
So somehow it really, I don't know how to put it, but that's what happened. And I decided to focus on my child, to remember where we have come from, and to just decide to hold on to the hope that I would not come all that far for my story to just end like that. Yeah. And so here we are. Yes.
And now, looking back, this violence that was happening, when the violence was happening, your child could figure out a few things.
Yeah.
What would you say was the impact of that violence on the child?
On the child,
Yeah.
I am battling it even up to date. There's a kind of fear in him, especially sometimes when he does something and he doesn't know how I'm going to react. Like he would be first to defend himself. Like, I don't know how to put it, but then there is some fear, though I'm really trying. Right now, I think we are not there yet, but I have really tried. I have loved this child beyond anything else, such that he feels more loved, such that even if something happens, then he can easily just try and explain, then express himself, and then I tell him that, it is okay, mistakes happen, and that is just one of the mistakes. It happened because it was accidental. You'd never planned for it, and then now he begins to understand. But back then, it really affected him because he would go to school, put his head on top of the table, and then the teacher would ask her, Teacher Daphne would ask him that, Aaron, why are you sleeping? Are you sick? Are you tired? That nilikuwa nakumbuka kitu. And then the teacher would ask. You see these teachers, the way they innocently ask, and the child is very innocent. That I was, I was just thinking of how dad was beating mom. And now it was this child that now went and told the teachers in school what was happening. Now I had to go again, sit with the teachers down and give them a background of what was happening and what the child himself is going through. I may say it was one of the hardest phases because my person who was known and who is so good. Remember, all this is happening and I can't tell. And like if I would go to anyone to tell them that this is the same person doing this, they would not believe me. Even my family at some point, they felt like I was the problem. And because this person was extraordinarily good to them. But then now, until now, I presented now, he becomes so wild. He becomes so, like when I don't know what happened between us. Like he would be so wild to me and treat other people so nicely. And yeah, so somehow it's something that I'm still dealing with up to now. But I feel like with the love that I have given my child and the peace, because we have never even tried dating after that, or even moving on, or even, so he finds so much peace at home. You see, yes, and every time he would want to go home. Like home is where he wants to be. Yeah, so.
I think that's amazing. And looking back, reflecting on the 6 years that you were together, at what point did it hit you that you were being abused?
After being a child protection officer. Yes.
That is when it hit you?
Yes. That is when it hit me that, that was pure abuse, both physical, emotional, and all. Financial. Yes. Yeah. Because now I had the opportunity to interact with such victims, and then I was like, so like these people. Yes. Yeah. That was when I knew that, this is what was happening. And now, bit by bit, I could open up a little bit in my social media handles. And then, unfortunately, during that time we were battling this court case, I logged out of social media completely because I never wanted him to trace me again. And now I was not depending on that sales job. So I had no reason at all to be on social media. So I pulled out of social media completely. By bad luck, I forgot the passwords. So by the time I was now okay and everything is settled, I was going back. I had lost my Facebook account that had about 13,000 followers or things like that. So, yeah. But we started afresh, and with my mentally very stable, emotionally very stable. And right now, you see, it's not that the challenges stopped coming. They come every day, but the kind of zeal and the willpower that I have, no amount of challenge amount of challenge can come between me and success. Yeah.
So how has your healing journey been? have you been able to get any form of psychotherapy or psychosocial support for you and for your son? What are some of the things that have helped you heal and get to where you are right now?
One, my brother Willis, my late brother Willis. That was my therapist. And by 2022, I think it was the peak of my mental illness. And during that time, imagine the house that I was paying my own rent. On Friday, these weekdays I would just be okay. But Friday now, I could not stay in this house for a whole weekend. Again, I would just walk, get to the stairs, and then I just shut completely. Like, I look for an alternative place to go.
You didn't want to be home?
Yes. Or if I was home, I would lock myself in the room. And then, I had a house help. Now I would just leave the child. I'll buy everything that was needed. And then the child, I make sure we have paid for Wi-Fi and everything. And then the child would stay with the nanny. But Mimi, I was going through so much. So my brother recommended that I should see a therapist. And then money was not a problem back then. So I decided to see Dr. Tambuki, a therapist that is based in Aga Khan. We went through that for some time, and I think it helped. But my brother really helped, because in my brother, I saw it now being practical. Like, he walked with me side by side, like all through. Remember, he's my young brother. Like, he was only 25 by the time he was passing on. But he stepped up. Hey, Bana Willis was a wonderful human. He was so informed. He was so bright. Like, he took me, you see, he's that human that I would go to and tell him how I feel. Exactly. I did not have to package my words to suit. I would just go and tell him things the way they are. And I would come out of that place smiling all the way. By the time we are done, he would talk to me. He would remind me of where we are coming from, the vision and everything. Yeah, so he's one person that played a very integral part in my healing journey. Yeah, and also my friend Fanny, she really came through. She has been there from the yearning. Yeah, so they have been very present in my healing journey.
And looking back to the time when you were going through this violence, did you seek any help other than seeking help from your brother Felix? Did you seek help from, say, the authorities, the community that you're living in? And is there a way they supported you, or do you feel like they let you down in a way?
Somehow, I held this for so long because I felt like, in as much as I wronged my family, I disappointed them by settling with this person. But now, if they had just understood me and I just accepted the situation and didn't give me that side of them being so disappointed with me, then I would easily run back to them. I would not have kept so much to myself, and maybe I would have been, my story would have been different. So I held that for so long, and even up to date, my relationship with most of my family members not so good. I feel like, okay, we are talking, yes, but every time, like we can talk about things like, how are you doing? I'm fine, but we cannot relate, like, you see. Yeah, that unfortunately, that I have not been able to mend that, especially with my brother Felix, because I disappointed him big time. And maybe if he finds an opportunity to bump into this, then I would tell him, I would have a word for him and tell him that I know he must have been very disappointed with me. But today, the 7th of November, 2025, may he just find a place to forgive me.
You can look at this camera and talk to Felix.
Felix, my brother, I know if you get a chance to watch this, I know how much disappointed you are in me. I know I really disappointed you. This is not what you envisioned for me. But this is the life that I would say chose me. And I am here. I didn't really plan that this is how it would turn out. But then this is it. I am very sorry. May you find a place in your heart to forgive me.
Thank you for that. And I hope that you get to mend things with Felix, because throughout this story, he was constantly trying to save you from this situation. Yeah, he was trying to support you. So I hope you get to mend things and go back to the way things were.
And if we may not go back to the way things were, I just pray that he forgives me so that he can just tell me that, it's okay. Like, I still feel, we talk, but I still feel there is that heaviness in
his heart.
Yes. But not that he has stopped even communicating. He really tries. But I feel, you see, when I have that guilt, I'm carrying that guilt of why did I disappoint him so much? He told me, and I told him back, like, this is going to work. Those are just stereotypes. I'm not going to fall into that. So this is going to work. It is either going to work or work. That was it. So I disappointed him big time. I disappointed Dad big time. But then I was just a young girl who was trying to find, yes. It was not intentional. Unfortunately, it ended like that. But that is not going to define the person that I am.
Absolutely.
Yes. And we are still moving.
Yeah.
We have a very bright future ahead of us.
Absolutely.
Me and my baby, we have such a wonderful future. And I know God is in this story. Yeah.
And it's I think it's beautiful the way you acknowledge your contribution to how your relationship with your family has been, and that you're willing to rebuild. I think that's really beautiful. Yeah, so how do you think the society can better support victims of abuse? And by society, I mean the random mama mboga who is selling mboga pale, mzee wa mtaa, chief, police, and everyone else. How can we how can we better support victims of abuse?
If a person, a woman or a man or a person reaches out to you and tells you that, you know what, this is what I'm going through, please believe them. Do your investigation, but believe them. Because the person in question might be so good out there, but he's something else to this person. So if at any point someone confides in you and tells you that, this is what I'm going through, please believe them and help if you can. And also to the people, the women out there who are going through the same thing or who might have gone through the same thing, please don't be like Lydia. Don't do whatever I did. don't cover up for them, because healing and even being helped starts just from just one word, that is help. When you cry out for help in good time, imagine you can be helped.
That's the beginning of your healing.
Yes. So speak. Do not leave alone the shame and the embarrassment. Don't carry on your head. Like, don't try to prove a point. Like, I really tried so hard. Don't do that. Because at the end of the day, you might not be strong enough like myself. Mimi, I braved all that and I managed to pick up my pieces, and here I am in one piece. Like, I am very much okay. Another person might not be in a place. They might give up midway if they had to go through maybe the same or even a worse situation like mine. They might give up in the process. So speak. I would advise, I would tell everyone who will watch this video to not, if they know someone who is going through something like that, please check on your friends and let them speak. Just ask for help. It doesn't matter where that. Tell. It's that you can get one person that you can confide in, and then that one person, please let them give the required support.
I was actually about to ask you to talk to someone who is going through something like that. And I don't even want you to look at me when you're saying, I want you to look in the eyes of the person that is going to watch this. I want you to directly give that message to the person that is watching this.
Okay, to that person, to that woman, to that lady, to that man who is watching this video today, I want to really ask you or request you in a very nice way, in a very humble way, that please, should you be in a place where you are going through something that looks like what I have been through, please speak out, reach out for help. And I also come to you not as a perfect person. I come to you as a woman who has found a voice, as a woman who is speaking for so many people who are not able to express themselves because there is that fear of being judged, there is that fear of shame, there is that embarrassment of she was married and then now things did not work out. But I come with all those imperfections. I come to you with the hope that it is not your story that defines you. It all starts from your mind, and you can make something out of life if you are willing to do that. So please, my urge is just for you to speak up and seek help. That's what I would tell them.
Thank you so much, Lydia, for that powerful message. As we wrap up, I want to ask, how does healing look like for you right now?
Healing isn't so pretty because 1 minute you are all bubbly, the next minute you are crying at 3 a.m. and then you show up at work at 8 a.m. with a smile like this, and no one is supposed to know about that. So that's my healing in that other line. But then with the death of my support system and my brother, it's messy, but I am fighting. I have to. We had so many dreams with my brother. I have to make sure that, because my brother, if he was there, then he would make sure that we attain all that. But now, because he's not there, I am the one who is here. I tell you, come what may, I have to succeed. Come what may, he has to be proud of me wherever he is. Yes.
That's beautiful. So with regard to the abuse that you went through, what does the healed version of you look like with regard to the abuse?
To the abuse, I look at things differently, and I am able to tell. Like my way of viewing things is very different, and I am able to pick even the slightest. If you just try, like it doesn't matter where, because I've not, since that time I have never even thought of dating. But then because it doesn't have to come from a person that I'm in a relationship with, but even I am so much alert that I am able to tell whether it's coming from employer, whether it's coming from so and so. I am able to pick that, and once I pick that, I cannot allow that to get to me, because I know what it costs to get to where I am. I am not going back to that place where I could not go into my own house, and I cannot get myself back there. Yeah, so I guard my space fiercely. Yeah.
That is beautiful. If I'm getting you correctly, you're saying that now you're setting your boundaries firmer.
Yes.
Utaki mchezo hapo.
Unapologetically. Yes.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So thank you so much, Lydia, for sharing your story with us. This has been a beautiful, beautiful conversation.
Thank you.
And very insightful. And one thing that I have come out of this conversation with is how resilient you are. It's commendable. You're a powerhouse. Yes. It's commendable. Yeah. It's commendable, and it's beautiful to be able to be that flexible and ready to pivot, to do everything you can to, give a good life to your son. I think that's very beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Voices at the Edge, and thank you for watching to the end. This has been a beautiful conversation, and just as Lydia has said, if you or someone you know is going through abuse, please speak up, because there is help. We will share the national hotline somewhere down here. And you can also reach us through our direct line. This has been Voices at the Edge. Thank you for joining us. And please do not forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.